Low pulp supply may rise toilet paper cost. Ferdinand Marcos Jr. bound for presidency. Russia cancels military flyover on Victory Day.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It's May 10th, Tuesday, and here are your top stories. The global top pulp producer Suzano SA is sounding alarm that pulp inventories have been filling too much around the world. The company expects a risk of a supply shortage, possibly leading to higher prices of essential items such as tissue and toilet paper. Suzano Chief Executive Officer Walter Scholke said since Russia is an important source of wood for Europe, this trade has been completely blocked after its invasion of Ukraine. Risks of pulp supply shortage are on the rise.
And furthermore, Russian wood supply also lost global certifications. That means pulp producers in Europe, especially in Scandinavia, will have their production capacity curbed. As a result, pulp inventories have been gradually declining, and a lack of pulp may happen sooner than later. Brazilian bank BTG Pactual reported on May 3rd that pulp supply decline in the first quarter was also affected by prolonged problems in sea logistics and disruptions on inland transportation. Those factors, coupled with strong demand, prompt a rally of around 40% on China's pulp prices this year.
According to preliminary returns with more than 90% of the vote counted, showed Ferdinand Marcos Jr. had 28.8 million votes, more than double that of his closest rival, Leni Robredo, the current vice president. Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the son who's named after the former Philippines dictator, appeared sure to win the country's presidential election on May 9th. Media reports the commanding vote margin is the biggest victory in the presidential race in the Philippines since Corazon Aquino was ejected in the wake of the ouster of Marcos Jr.'s father.
The Marcos family was driven from office in 1986 by the People Power Uprising, with millions of Filipinos uniting to decree deadly abuses and rampant corruption that siphoned billions of dollars from the treasury into the family's personal bankroll. Many expect Marcos Jr. will try to dismantle investigations and prosecutions that remain against his family. But since poverty is widespread, inequality has widened and corruption remains rampant in the Philippines. Marcos Jr. won the support of millions of voters.
Russia's Victory Day military flyovers have been abruptly canceled in Moscow, Russia's state-run news agency TASS reported. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said the cancellation had been due to the weather. According to local weather forecast, Russia's capital will see light rain showers and a moderate breeze until 7 p.m. local time. Some media reports the flyover by Vladimir Putin's Soviet doomsday fighter plane was axed amid the Kremlin's suspicion and fear of sabotage.
Media reports Putin has frequently played God in the past 2 decades. In the most recent event, he ordered planes to spray early morning clouds with a chemical cocktail in effort to stop the rain on his parade. Yet the Soviet-era technology was evidently not deployed today. A Western diplomat said, "It looks like they got scared, perhaps of sabotage, and kept the planes grounded." Media reports the aerial demonstration in Russia's fourth-largest city, Yekaterinburg, was also cancelled. No explanation was given for that sudden cancellation.
South Korea's intelligence agency said on May 5th that the country has joined a cyber defense group under the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, becoming its first Asian member country. The National Intelligence Service said that South Korea, along with Canada and Luxembourg, have been admitted into the NATO Cooperative Cyber Defense Center of Excellence, based in Tallinn, Estonia, that supports member nations and NATO with interdisciplinary cyber defense research, training, and exercises.
The NATO Cooperative Cyber Defense Center of Excellence, also known as the CCDCOE, was established in 2008 by NATO members, on the initiative of Estonia, in response to the country suffering crippling cyber attacks allegedly committed by Russia. Prior to becoming an official member of the center, South Korea had taken part in CCDCOE's large-scale live-fire cyber defense exercise, Locked Shields, where thousands of experts from member nations and partners jointly defended a fictional country against simulated cyber attacks.
Gucci announced that it will accept cryptocurrency payments at select locations in the U.S., including New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Atlanta, and Las Vegas, starting at the end of May. But the pilot project will be expanded to Gucci's full North American network this summer. Customers will soon be able to pay for their purchases in Gucci with over 10 cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and 5 USD-pegged stablecoins. GUSD, USDC, USDP, DAI, BUSD. Gucci said they will also accept Dogecoin and Shiba Inu.
Dogecoin started as a joke, but spiked in value after tech billionaire Elon Musk said the meme-based coin could be used to buy Tesla merchandise. Gucci said that it's a digital-first luxury brand, and this is the next phase of the company's Web 3.0 journey. Before crypto, Gucci had also released her NFTs in collaboration with major players in the NFT world, like Bored Ape, Yacht Club, and Cool Cats. One NFT listed in Gucci's NFT shop on OpenSea is listed at 420.69 ETH, equivalent to over $1 million.
A survey conducted by Japan's Labor Ministry showed, as of last year, 8.5% of companies were giving employees more days off, which means less than 5-day work weeks. Media reports Panasonic Holdings, Hitachi, Mitsuho Financial Group, Uniqlo's Fast Retailing, and drug maker Shinogi are embracing the pilot policy. However, a survey by job information provider Minavi, released in February, found that 78.5% of workers between their 20s and 50s said they would not want to take 3 days off if their pay was cut.
Shinogi will give employees who are on a 4-day work week about 80% of their regular salary and allow workers to take a second job. Hitachi said in April it will allow employees to work a 4-day work week as long as they perform the necessary working hours each month, while receiving the same level of salary. But Minavi's survey found 60.1% of the respondents said it was impossible to introduce a 4-day work week at their workplace. Their reasons varied from already being understaffed to the workload being too great.
Amid sanctions on top producer in Russia, with Russia's 7% of global nickel supply, 10% of the world's platinum, and 25 to 30% of the world's palladium off the table, Africa's rich deposits of such metals start looking a lot more attractive. This year's African Mineral Investors Conference held in Cape Town, South Africa, saw the rare participation of high-level officials from the U.S. government for many years. Even Japan's state-run oil, gas, metal, and mineral portfolio sent representatives to the meeting.
The executive chairman of New York-based political risk consultancy, Veracity Worldwide Steve Fox, said the U.S. administration wants to position itself as a strong support of battery metal projects in sub-Saharan Africa. But the risk of mining in sub-Saharan Africa remains high. The acute security challenge facing mines in the gold-rich Sahel region was highlighted last month when Russia's Nordgold abandoned its Taparko gold mine in Burkina Faso over an increasing threat from militants.
Chinese Premier Li Keqiang warned of a complicated and grave employment situation in China on May 6th, and he instructed all government departments and regions to prioritize measures aimed at helping businesses retain jobs and weather the current difficulties. As China tightened curbs on residents in a bid to contain COVID outbreaks in most important cities, China's National Bureau of Statistics data shows the jobless rate climbed to 5.8% in March, the highest since May 2020.
The employment subgauge of the official manufacturing and non-manufacturing purchase managers index both dropped sharply in April, plunging to levels well below the 50-point mark that indicated worsening job prospects in the sectors. The Baidu Index, which measures the frequency of searches for keywords, also shows a spike in searches for the word layoff since the beginning of March that surpassed the previous peak in February 2020.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. Let's make every day a fun day. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I will see you next time.